Hey everyone, this guide is going to show you how to beat the main quest on the Black Ops 6 Zombies map Terminus on solo. Let's get into it. You can use any loadout for this Easter egg, however some good recommendations are the GS45 pistols with the akimbo attachment or the ASG shotgun. I also recommend taking Ether Shroud if you have access to it. First, we need to turn on the power and activate the Pack-a-Punch. There are 3 power generators located around the map. Interacting with them will cause purple-eyed zombies to attack the machine for 30 seconds. You need to defend the machine during this time. The generators are located by spawn in the guard station, in the Juggernaut room, and in the center of the biolab. Once all 3 machines are active, dive into the water near these 2 rails and interact with this terminal to raise up the Pack-a-Punch. Next, we need to acquire the Beam Smasher Wonder Weapon. This can be acquired from the mystery box, or you can build it yourself. In order to build it, we first need to put the Dead Wire ammo mod on one of your weapons. Then, activate the inclined lift near the Pack-a-Punch. This will cause the platform to raise up. While it's raising, look through this window and shoot the electrical box with your Dead Wire weapon. Then, turn and shoot this electrical box on the side of the lift, and then this one behind the Pack-a-Punch. Then, shoot this one inside the Juggernaut room, and finally this one on the outside wall of the Juggernaut room. Doing so will open up these doors. Once inside, kill the zombie underneath this cabinet and collect the key card that she drops. Take that key card to the C tower and interact with this briefcase to open it and then collect the item inside. Doing so will spawn a bunch of spider enemies, so watch out for those. Bring the item back to the lab and interact with this machine to put it down. Now you need to interact with 3 laptops around the map. The first one is here, just outside the quick revive room. The next one is on the opposite side, outside of the stamina up room. And the last one is under the C tower, next to the stairs going down towards the docks. Now come back to the machine in the lab and interact with it. You will see 3 post-it notes with a letter and a symbol on them, and you will be prompted to enter a code. On the whiteboards in the back of the room, you will see a chart with symbols on it and some math equations. You want to use the left whiteboard to figure out which numbers the 3 symbols on your post-it notes relate to. The number on the leftmost column of the whiteboard is the first digit, and the numbers in the row at the bottom is the second digit. So you can see in my game, my X, Y, and Z numbers are 11, 20, and 22. Then, substitute those numbers into the positions of the letters in the math equations. Get your answers and put them into the machine, and this step will be complete. If you want to skip doing this step, you can also go to the guard station and pay Peck 5,000 points to give you the code. The code will be displayed on a monitor next to Peck if you choose to do this. Once this is done, keep moving through the rounds until you get this quote.
Multi-phasic resonator calibrated. Target located. Loading coordinates.
Then collect the device from the top of the code machine and get yourself a boat. Make your way to Castle Rock Island and you should see a glowing blue orb. Interact with the floor below the orb to begin this step. During this step, extra purple-eyed zombies are going to be spawning in. Wait around this area until the blue orb raises into the air and shocks one of the zombies. This zombie will now have a blue glow. Lure that zombie towards the blue orb and kill it when it is next to it. Then repeat this whole thing one more time. Let a zombie get shocked, lure it towards the orb, and kill it. Once this is done, the blue orb will move on to another island. Make sure to collect the item on the ground where the blue orb was before moving on. Then head to Crab Island and you will find the orb has changed color to green. This step is exactly the same as the last one. Place the item down underneath the orb, wait until a zombie gets shocked, kill it under the orb, do that twice and then pick up the item. Then, follow the orb to Temple Island where the orb is now purple and do the same thing one more time. If at any time during this step you end up killing the glowing zombie away from the orb, that's no problem. The zombie will drop a small glowing energy ball where it was killed. Simply interact with the energy ball to pick it up and walk it over to the orb. Remember to pick up the item from underneath where the orb was when you were finished. Once you've done this, head back to the lab and you will now be able to craft the Beam Smasher Wonder Weapon. Next, you need to look for a tentacle trap that has a key card sitting on the floor beneath it. The key card looks like this. The 4 tentacle trap locations are in the biolab on either side of the Pack-a-Punch machine, between the courtyard and the Juggernaut room, and in the spawn room. Once you find the trap with the key card, activate the trap and shoot the Beam Smasher into it for a few seconds. Then a hard drive will drop out of the trap for you to collect. Pick it up and interact with this box in the guard station to give it to Peck. Now we need to find a 3-digit code using items around the map. The first digit is the hour of the time shown on this clock in the quick revive room. So in my game the time was about 7:20, so my first digit is 7. Then come to the mess hall and look at this playing card on the board. The number on the playing card is the second digit, so mine is 3. If you have the letter A on your card, this means that your number is 1. Lastly, come to the engineering room and look at this sign. The number on the sign is the last digit, so my full code is 735. Next, make your way to the biolab and interact with this window to open it. Then interact with the keypad below the window and enter in your code. Now I recommend you make sure you have some perks, upgrade your weapon rarity, pack a punch, and upgrade your armor as we have a mini boss fight coming up. When you are ready, interact with the window once again to start the mini boss. This boss is an amalgam that has a lot of extra health. There will also be spiders, parasites, and super fast zombies spawning in during this. Take your time and run around the biolab doing damage to the amalgam when you can. Once you defeat it, a short cutscene will play. Once you spawn back in, jump off the bridge and directly under it you will find a key card in the water for you to pick up. Then, get yourself on a boat and make your way to this hole in the shipwreck. Climb up this ladder and this hatch will open. There are items on the workbench in this room. When you pick one of them up, you will be put into a short lockdown. Once you kill all the zombies and survive the lockdown, a max ammo will spawn and you will be able to leave. Now you need to bring the item you collected from the workbench and install it at a broken pipe. There are 3 pipe locations around the map and 2 of them will be broken. One is on this island close to the other end of the shipwreck, the next is here underneath the sea tower, and the last is in the sea caves by Speed Cola. Once you find a broken pipe, make sure the area is clear and then repair it. Then head back to the shipwreck and grab the other item and install it at the other broken pipe location. Note that you will not be able to run while you are holding the pipe pieces from the workbench. Once both broken pipes are repaired, make your way back to spawn. There will be some dialogue happening between the characters. Once the dialogue is finished, a part will appear inside this box by where Dr. Peck is for you to pick up. Now, I recommend you get equipped with anything you can use to get zombies away from you. The best items to have here are ether shroud charges, monkey bombs, Casimir grenades, decoys, and smoke grenades. I find smoke grenades work really well and they also don't cost much salvage to craft. When you're ready, head out into the water and look for one of these buoys with a satellite on top of it. Exit the boat and interact with the buoy to hack it. When you do this, a timer will appear on the screen. You need to hack 2 more of these buoys before the timer runs out. If you move in a big circle around the center island, you'll easily be able to spot and hack the other 2 before the timer runs out. Once you're done with this, quickly make your way back to the lab. Another timer will start and you now have 5 minutes to defuse 3 bombs that appear inside the biolab. The first 2 bombs are located on the lower level, just next to each of the staircases that heads up to the next level, and the last one is just underneath that little upstairs room. Once you get to one of the bombs, throw down your distraction grenade or use an ether shroud and defuse the bomb. If you are using ether shroud, I recommend starting to defuse the bomb, then once you start getting attacked, activate ether shroud and then continue to defuse the bomb. Your ether shroud will run out before the defuse is finished, but by the time the zombies get back to you, you should be done. If you have distraction grenades, throw them away from the bomb and then defuse it. If you have smoke grenades, throw them towards the bomb and then defuse it. The safe zone when using the smoke grenades is sometimes a little finicky, but I find if you stand away from the bomb and throw the smoke grenade towards it, then you shouldn't have too many issues. Remember that there is a crafting bench inside the biolab if you need to craft more equipment during this step. Once you defuse all 3 bombs, this step is complete and you can now enter the boss fight. I recommend getting at least tier 2 armor and all the perks you want before going in. If you are using the GS45 pistols, you will also need to make sure that you have enough points to buy plenty of ammo during this boss fight. Remember that ammo cost increases from 1,000 to 2,500 to 5,000 points per Pack-a-Punch level, so keep that in mind. You can beat this boss with the GS45s at Pack-a-Punch level 1 without too much difficulty, so if you don't want to spend the extra time going through rounds to get points and salvage, then you don't need to. If you're not using those pistols, then I recommend you get the highest weapon rarity and highest Pack-a-Punch level that you can get. Monkey bombs, ether shroud charges, and Casimir grenades are all super useful for helping keep the zombies off of you during this fight. You can also bring in a chopper gunner, which can be super useful as well. When you are ready, come to this door near the Melee Macchiato perk and interact with it to start the boss fight. After a short cutscene, it's time to fight the big Kraken. The Kraken has a big slam attack, so make sure you try to get out of the way when he does this. This attack will also take out zombies and stun elite zombies as well. You can tell he's about to do it when he lifts his tentacles up. He will also sometimes stick his tongue out in the middle of the arena, so make sure you stay away from it, otherwise he will suck you in and insta-down you. You can run all around the big arena during the fight as well, however doing so will cause the Kraken to move and follow you. If you get knocked off into the water at any point, don't worry, there are ladders you can use to climb back up. There's also an ammo crate at the back middle of the main platform as well. In the background of the boss fight arena, there will be tentacles shooting gas grenades at you. You can shoot these tentacles and take them out, however they respawn quite quickly, so I don't recommend wasting your time on that. This boss fight has 5 distinct phases. For phase 1, shoot the glowing red spots on the Kraken to do damage. I recommend staying on the sides of the arena and shooting the weak spot. If the weak spot moves to the other side, or the side you're on gets covered in gas grenades, or you're getting overwhelmed by zombies, then wait until the Kraken does his next slam attack and then run to the other side and rinse and repeat. After enough damage, he will disappear and begin phase 2. For phase 2, you just have to survive for 60 seconds. You don't need to kill anything during this phase, however it can be a good idea to do so if you need to restock on armor plates. Once he reappears, you are ready for phase 3. Phase 3 is the same as Phase 1, except there will be more zombies, and the Kraken's mouth is his new weak point. Use the same strategies from Phase 1 to do damage to him. After enough damage, the big yellow spots on his tentacles will become the new weak point. Shoot these to do bonus damage. After enough damage, he will disappear again for Phase 4. For Phase 4, you just need to survive again for another 60 seconds. However, this time amalgams will start spawning in, so be careful. When the Kraken comes back, it's time for Phase 5. This time you need to shoot the glowing blue eyes on the Kraken's head to do bonus damage. Also, amalgams will be spawning in, and the Kraken has 2 new moves. Firstly, he may block off entire sections of the arena with his tentacles. Secondly, if you see him charging up an electric blast like this, you need to be very careful. If the electric blast goes off and you are out in the open, you will get downed instantly. If you do enough damage to him while he's charging it up, you can knock him out of it, but I recommend hiding behind the cover on either side of the arena or jumping into the water to avoid this attack. I recommend using the same strategy of moving side to side across the arena and doing damage when you can. If you have a chopper gunner, Phase 5 is a great time to use it. Remember that you can use your distraction grenades and ether shroud to keep zombies off of you. You can also use the ultimate fire of the beam smasher to slow enemies down too. Once you manage to do enough damage to the boss, he will explode, and after some dialogue, the ending cutscene will play. I hope this guide was helpful. Let me know if you managed to beat this Easter egg in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.